Hello, welcome to my tag of the day. Today I'm using the Tim Holtz Mixed Media Heavy Stock tags and the Mr. Rabbit Stampers Anonymous stamp set. I'm stamping with salvaged patina distress oxide with the plaid stamp, and I'm going to heat set that so that it doesn't smear. Next I'm going to stamp some words from the set, and I'm using the Shadow Gray Archival Ink set from Ranger. Next I'm going to use my stamping platform to stamp the rabbit. I want a good dark image. Using the stamping platform helps you stamp in the same spot a few times so you can get the image to be as dark as you want. Being that the first time I'm using it, I knew I was going to have to stamp it twice, that I wouldn't get a good image the first time. So just reapplying ink and stamping again. I'm going to use the Distress Crayons to color in Mr. Rabbit. I'm using Vintage Photo, Walnut Stain, and Worn Lipstick right now. I do start usually with the lighter color first, and a lot of times it's because I don't want too much dark on my water brush. You could cross it over if you don't wipe it up well enough. I did also spritz some water on the crayon to get a better consistency. My water brush didn't have as much water in it as I had hoped, so I added a little bit more water. So I'm going with the dark, following the shades and directions of the fur for Mr. Rabbit, and coloring him all in. After I'm done with the light, I'll go back with the darker color with the walnut stain and do some dark highlights and things on him. I do have a cloth next to me, and I am drying off my water brush if it gets too wet in between. Once I'm done with him, I am going to do his jacket and shirt and tie. I'm using Rustic Wilderness for his jacket. I did like the green. It's kind of still St. Patty's Day look. Just following the design of the jacket. I did leave the piping on his jacket lapel white, so it does stand out a little bit more. I'm using Seedless Preserves for his tie and his vest to add a pop of color. And again, it is watercolor, so it's a loose color. I'm not exact in the lines. I'm not super dark in detail. I decided his shirt needed color also, so I'm using Scattered Straw, which is a light yellow, to color in his shirt. Once that's done, I do heat set it. Took out my cutter bees and did a fussy cut. That took a little bit of time. Adding some Vintage Photo Distress Oxide around him to soften up the white from where I cut. I placed him down and realized I needed another color, an element in there, so I'm using a stencil and I'm using the circles and adding some Scattered Straw Oxide on the tag. Another heat set dry, and then I'm going to place them on top. I am using the Scattered Straw to distress the edges, and I'm also taking the Vintage Photo and just tapping it on the side instead of scraping it, just to add a little bit of darkness. Adding adhesive, making sure you get all of his little whiskers, depending on how fussy you fussy cut. And then I got him stuck down. He is hanging over a little bit, so I trim that off. And then grab some trim for the tech, for the top. I did double tie this. I used a sheer chiffon type ribbon and a crocheted ribbon. I did have a little bit of issue getting it tied. It wouldn't stand up the way I wanted it to. Then I grabbed a bulb pin and then one of Tim's little jewels. I don't know what the name of it is. They're little dangly jewels, and I clipped that right into the knot. And so there we go, Mr. Rabbit, a new tag of the day. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys try it out. I will have more videos coming soon.